Hi everyone, it's been a long time, I apologize, but I'm back in the business of video making, so hopefully there won't be such a long gap in between my videos. There won't be, I promise. Anyways, I've gotten a lot of requests to do video on foundation application, face makeup, cover up, that sort of thing, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing concealer, foundation, and powder all in one. Something weird just happened. Anyways, this is my face without makeup, so please excuse. I do have some good redness and some sunspots for you, so I'm going to show you how to effectively cover those. And as always, I'll go through all the products, tell you exactly what I'm using, why I'm using it, and brushes that I'm using to apply. So for any redness, I always do concealer first when I'm putting on my makeup. It's great for redness, dark spots, dark circles under your eyes, that sort of thing. But my number one rule before I do anything is I prime my face. Face primer is really important because it really creates a barrier between your skin and the makeup. So your makeup essentially is lasting longer on your face. The natural oils in your skin that your skin produces all day during the day don't get to the makeup as quickly. Sorry, I'm thinking as I'm talking. Anyways, it prevents it from getting to the makeup as quickly. It prevents it from wearing it down. So I always prime my face first before I put anything on it. The primer that I like to use is by MAC. It's called Prep and Prime Face. So just put a little bit of that. I usually use a 190 brush. This is a MAC brush, flat. A nice dense brush. It almost looks like a paintbrush, and I just apply that all over my face. Wherever the makeup's going to be going is where I put the primer. And you don't need a lot. You can use about the size of a nickel in the product and just put it all over the face. It's always good to wear a hairband or a bobby pin that keeps your bangs back when you're doing your makeup. I should be doing that too. I'm not right now. Okay, so once you're done with that, you want to identify the areas of redness or darkness that you want to cover up. So I have a few sunspots. It's from sun damage. I want to definitely cover that up. And I also have a few areas of redness here and here that I'm going to be covering up. Not to get too complicated, but in order to do a good job at really covering things like that, I like to use 2 shades and 2 textures. So my favorite concealers are by MAC, and one is Select Cover Up, looks like that, and the other is Studio Sculpt Concealer, it looks like this. So this one is more of a cream, where this one is more of a liquid. And the dual textures actually help to create evenness on the skin tone and really help to cover up. And I hope I'm not losing you. So not to make it more complicated, but I like to use the same color in different tones. So I'm going to be using NW20 in the Select Cover Up and NC20 in the Studio Sculpt Concealer. The reason that I like to do that is because the undertone in the C is yellow and the undertone in the W is red, and the combination of them both really helps to minimize the redness and minimize the darkness and helps to really brighten up the skin. So basically what I do is I just put a little bit of each. You can put this on your hand. I actually have like a palette, like a MAC metal palette. You just put a little bit of each down on your hand, down on a tissue, or on your palette if you have one. Okay, and I like to use a 217 brush. So it's actually meant for eye makeup, but it's really nice and fluffy. It looks like this, but it really blends really nicely. So what I do is I just take a little bit of each on my brush, a little bit of each, and then I just slowly stipple over the areas. Go a little heavier first, and then when you're blending, you can really distribute that product evenly. And I don't just use this on areas of redness, I also use it under my eyes. So once the product is placed, that's when you're going to start blending. And using the same brush, sorry, I'm just got a lot of issues with my skin lately. Okay, so using the same brush, I like to just take a clean Kleenex and just sort of rub the product off a little bit. And then using the same brush, I just use back and forth and circular motions to blend it in. And this technique will help to cover, like I said, areas of darkness, areas of redness, veins, if you have very prominent veins in your face, will also help to cover that. And it's great because it really helps to give you that naturally even skin tone. Now, I naturally have freckles, so if I really wanted to go crazy, I could do this all over my face. But I actually like my freckles, so I won't be doing that. But as you can see already, it's nice and concealed. You can barely see that sunspot anymore. So just really gently, that's what I really like about this brush. It's very nice and soft, and you can just run over everything very gently, blending it really nicely and evenly. And there you are. It's pretty much gone. Excellent. So after you're done your concealer, it's time for foundation. Because it's summertime right now, I like to use a really light foundation because it's very humid outside. Regardless of what I put on my face, I'm definitely sweating because of the humidity. So I like to wear a very moisturizing and thin foundation so it doesn't feel like anything is dripping or heavy or like my clogs are really my pores are really clogged. So I like to use MAC. This is a tinted moisturizer. You can use any kind of tinted moisturizer. It does give you a great amount of coverage without being too heavy. So it's called Studio Moisture Tint. The color I use is medium. It's a really great product because it's, like I said, it's really light and you don't have to use a lot of it. Like the size of a dime will cover my entire face. And you can use I like to use a combination of a foundation brush and a sponge. So again, the 190. I use the 190 just to deposit the foundation on my face, sort of like painting almost. And then I use sometimes a sponge, sometimes a brush to go over where I've laid down the foundation, just for blending. And I don't know, if you're looking for a great place to get sponges, the dollar store, Dollarama, anywhere in Toronto, they sell great quality sponges, like disposable ones. You can't use them very long, but it's great. It's only $1. Nobody wants to spend too much money on something you're just going to throw it anyways. So once my foundation is sort of deposited loosely around my face, I just take that sponge, and you want to be very careful around the areas that you've just concealed, not to pull away the concealer. So just dabbing, but you want to make sure you have a good blend all over your face. And I'll show you the brush that I sometimes use. So this just very gently blends it in. Sometimes I like to use the 133 brush. It's a dual fiber brush. Get a little bit of foundation on there. It gets really into the tight places on your face that 190 brush can't really get. And it really blends it very nicely. I like to go over my eyelids a little bit just to give them a little bit of evenness, even if I'm going to be putting on eye makeup, but especially if I'm not. And just making sure it's all blended all across the face. Looks pretty good, right? Yay. Okay, so my very last step, and some people don't like to wear powder, so if you don't, you can finish here. But if you do, I like to use a little bit of a heavier powder just to set the makeup. This is MAC, sorry, it looks kind of dirty. This is MAC Studio Fix powder. It's a great pressed powder foundation. I like to use my large powder brush, like this. It's 150, also by MAC. And just really lightly put the powder on your face all over, just to really set that foundation. and give you that really nice, beautiful, healthy, but matte skin. And that's pretty much it. You're done. Beautiful, concealed, covered up, matte face. Beautiful. Now all you need is bronzer and blush, which I'm going to be doing a video on, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.